Who was in Orochimaru's third coffin? I think everyone agrees that the fight between Orochimaru and Sarutobi was one of the best in the anime. No doubt, it's in the top 5. But within that fight, besides the plot hole that happened, which I already explained in this video here, we also had one of the biggest mysteries in the anime, and a lot of people still don't know what happened in that episode. So let's get to it. Who was in the third coffin that Orochimaru summoned against Old Man Sarutobi? To start this explanation, you need to understand how Edo Tensei works. Basically, if the user has some part of the DNA of a person who has already died and also has a living person to use as a sacrifice, they can summon the dead person whose DNA they have by bringing their soul into the body of the living sacrifice. Theoretically, the summoned target is reborn with all their powers, unlimited chakra reserves, and is basically immortal. Pretty much no physical attack works against them. The only real weakness of an Edo Tensei is basically being sealed. So, as soon as the fight starts, Orochimaru already summons 3 Edo Tenseis to fight against Old Man Sarutobi, who was already barely hanging on at that point. And that's when we realize how strong the old man was, right? Because, for the love of God, the guy was up against 2 Hokage, supposedly the most powerful ninjas of their time, plus Orochimaru, who was no saint himself, and the guy was at an age where he should have retired 3 times already. My friend, that old man was no joke. So, Orochimaru summoned the first and second, First Hokage, Second Hokage, and then the third coffin. And one of the things that proves who was in the third coffin is the kanji that appears on each of the coffins. The kanji on the first and second coffins, which belong to the first and second Hokage respectively, were the kanji for first and second. On the third coffin, as a result in showing who was supposed to be summoned there, it was the kanji for fourth for the fourth Hokage. Our dear Minato would have been the third resurrected coffin. But why, Renato, was Sarutobi so afraid of the third coffin if it was the fourth Hokage? Yeah, if you think about it logically, between the first, second, and fourth, the difference in power among them wasn't that great. Actually, the first and second might have even been more powerful than the fourth, at least at the age when the fourth died. If the fourth had had more time, he probably would have surpassed everyone, so why was there that fear then? I think Sarutobi's fear wasn't really about power. I think he was embarrassed in front of Minato. Minato had left Naruto for him to take care of. He basically told the kid to screw off and went on with his own life. How was he supposed to face the kid's father after that? And it's one thing to face the first or the second, you know, it's chill since they don't want to kill you. They're just there because of the jutsu. But it's a whole different story to face the fourth with fire in his eyes, coming for your head. So why couldn't he summon the fourth? In the anime, when we're watching, we believe that Sarutobi stops the summoning when he throws those shurikens. But honestly, that doesn't really make sense, right? We buy it in the moment, but those shurikens shouldn't really be able to stop the summoning. What actually happened was that Orochimaru most likely had access to Minato's DNA, wanted to summon him, but the summoning failed and he didn't understand why. And basically, what happened was that Minato's soul wasn't available to be summoned because Minato had used the Reaper Death Seal on the Ninetales. And everyone knows that when you use the Reaper Death Seal, your soul goes along with it. So basically Minato's soul wasn't available. It was trapped, sealed. And that's why the summoning didn't work. That's why in Shippuden, when Orochimaru goes to summon the Hokages, he already knows he has to find a way to free the Hokage souls because the jutsu simply wouldn't work if he didn't do that. Because at that time, all the Hokages were already sealed. Not just Minato anymore, right? Because the old man used it, the old man sealed the souls of the first and second. So there was Minato who had already been sealed, Sarutobi, the first and second sealed. Everyone was sealed together with, Beelzebub. And it's at that moment too that the old man pulls his last dirty trick, right? Because taking the teachers he likes so much and sending them to eternal suffering, something just isn't right in that relationship, you know?